Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. Wonders of the world will never cease to happen. It's now emerging that William Ruto's team, the Kenya Kwanza, had plans to change the NADCO report. We all know that NADCO report was a product of intense negotiation between the government side and the opposition and other relevant stakeholders. Taxpayers' money was spent at Bomas. Time was also spent there. After all that, the government side, Kenya Kwanza, had intended to make some changes secretly on that report. And the first change they wanted to make was to do away with a coalition political party. In Kenya, we only have one coalition political party, that's Azimio. Kenya Kwanza wanted to do away with that political party coalition. The second interesting change they wanted to make was on how Kenyans are going to vote and how the results are going to be transmitted. As it is, IEBC can only designate a place or places as polling stations. In this new secret change by Kenya Kwanza, they want to give IEBC to designate even a vehicle as a polling station. So a vehicle can be a polling station. That's another insertion Kenya Kwanza had attempted to insert in the NADCO report. Let's have a look at the story as captured by Nation. Inside President Ruto's Kenya Kwanza plot to finish Raila's Azimio coalition, last-minute changes to Bomas talks report legislative proposals set for introduction before the Senate have exposed a silent scheme to jolt the opposition party. Nation Africa has established that there was a sinister plot by President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza side to make changes to the National Dialogue Committee NADCO report aimed at doing away with coalition political parties. This move could have spelled a death knell to Raila Odinga's Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party. The other part of the aborted plan was to change how elections are conducted, as well as how results are transmitted. Trying to pull the rug under Azimio's feet, the majority side tabled the altered bills before the Senate, but it took a last-ditch intervention by the minority side to have a debate on the bills altered, saving the country from another fierce political storm. Let's jump to another very interesting part. On the Elections Amendment Bill 2024, the majority side sneaked in a new section after Section 38 of the Principal Act, which provides for the designation of polling stations by the IEBC. The amendment was to have the Electoral Commission appoint a place or places or designate a vehicle or vehicles or a vessel or vessels as a polling station or polling station for each electoral area. Section 38A1A states that the Commission shall appoint a place or places as a polling station or polling station for each electoral area. So William Ruto wants to give IBC the power to designate even a vehicle or vehicles as polling stations. As it is today, IEBC can only designate a place or places as polling stations. But with this new law, they wanted to sneak in secretly. IEBC was going to be given power to designate a vehicle or vehicles as polling stations. And that's very interesting because for the better part of today and even yesterday, we've seen some ghost polling stations in Baringo being exposed, where there is a fence written very well as school, but it's actually not a school. Ghost polling stations. And in 2022 presidential election, the ghost polling stations were effectively used to rig that election. And now with vehicles being designated as polling stations, I don't know what will happen. I want us to dig deep into this for Kenyans to understand what this means. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe in order not to miss our next video. Let's proceed. So, what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen? I'm seeing a plan and a plot to rig 2027 presidential election. And the plan has already started. In 2022, ghost polling stations were used to rig that election. In 2027, if this is anything to go by, William Ruto and his team had already hatched a plan to use vehicles as ghost polling stations. That was the plan here. It's good it has been exposed and foiled. But this is a clear plan to have as many ghost polling stations as possible. A vehicle is something that is mobile. Having it as a polling station, in my honest opinion, is just a way to avoid accountability. The second thing I'm seeing here, there is a plan to destroy or to kill the opposition. Azimio is the only coalition party we have in Kenya. If you do away with that, it means you are disintegrating Azimio. You are killing Azimio. Each and every party will now be on its own. They will not be able to work collectively in parliament. And that can weaken the opposition in parliament. So William Ruto is hell-bent on killing political parties and coalition political parties. And we still remember he started with Jubilee. He compromised quite a good number of leaders from Jubilee and are now singing his tune. As if that is not enough, he wants to make sure there is nothing called Azimio. That in itself proves William Ruto fears criticism. He does not want to be criticized or to be corrected. He's a know-it-all kind of a person. And I seriously wonder if William Ruto is even listening to his advices. He's a person coming out very clearly as one who can't be advised. He fears a strong opposition. And we still remember when Ruto came to power, he was saying he wanted a strong opposition. It's now clear he was lying. He wants a weak opposition. And also from all this, I'm seeing a very dishonest Kenya Kwanza government. A government that is not genuine with the opposition. They are just taking the opposition in circles. As Raila and his team engages Ruto and that government, let them be very careful, knowing very well they are dealing with a very dishonest team. Kenyans equally should be very careful when they listen to this government. This is a very dishonest government, a government full of lies and propaganda. That's what I can make of all this. So this talk of NADCO Bomas talks, that was just a wastage of time. Ruto was not honest with the opposition, and this can prove that he was not honest. Let me stop it there. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Any person watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment. Let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. It's good this has been exposed. Were it not exposed, then William Ruto could have had his way with this. Thank you.